is Gabby. Today we'll be talking about movement concepts and themes and locomotor, non-locomotor skills. What are movement concepts, you may ask? Movement concepts are used to modify or enrich the range and effectiveness of skill employment. What to do, where to move, how to move, and with whom or what to move. There are 4 movement concepts: body awareness, spatial awareness, qualities of movement, and relationship to, with, objects, people, and space. Our first movement concept is body awareness. What is body awareness? Body awareness is what the body can perform, what shape the body makes, how long the body can balance for, or how much weight it can take. Our first example for body awareness is going to be crouching down into a little ball. So you're going to stand up with me. Reach your arms as high as you can. I'm kind of restricted now, but I know you can reach high as you can. And now you're gonna crouch down into a tiny little ball. And you're gonna get right back up. So with that, our body is transforming as tall as we can and getting as small as we can to the ground into a tiny little ball. The next example is I'm gonna be transferring my body weight from one side of my body to the other. So you're gonna stand on one leg. If you can't do it, it's okay. Try to balance as good as you can. So I'm transferring all my weight from my left leg over to my right leg. We're going to try that again. From my right leg to my left leg. And that we are transferring our weight within our body. The next example of movement concepts is spatial awareness. Spatial awareness is where the body can move or moving in different ways. The first example I'm going to give for spatial awareness is going to be with a bird. So, if a bird is flying around and finds food during the warm weather, the landmark features that might have been used to identify where the food is buried will be covered in snow when the food is retrieved in the winter. So if a bird takes his food and hides it next to a certain tree, he's going to remember in the wintertime what landmarks are around so he can know and be aware, spatial awareness of where he hid his food. So you're going to get something, get an object, it could be a ball, a hat, a shoe, anything. You're going to place it down. Place it anywhere you want. So I'm putting mine on top of this cabinet. And at the end of this lesson, you are going to remember where you placed your item because of what's around it. I'm going to remember that I placed my cover next to a door on top of a cabinet where there's a chair. So that are 2 examples of spatial awareness. Our next movement concept is going to be qualities of movement. Qualities of movement is how the body moves or how fast or slow the body moves. Our first example is going to be jogging in place. You're going to jog in place as slow as you can. So face towards me and slowly jog in place. And now speed it up. And then slow it down again. Our bodies are capable of slowing down or speeding up. The next example that I'm going to show is doing a push-up. Not everybody is physically strong, not everybody is flexible, everybody's bodies are different, but it's what you physically can do. So I want you to first try to get down in a push-up, modified push-up position. So you're gonna leave your knees touching the ground and you're gonna stay in a push-up position with your arms like this. And you're slowly gonna push down. It's a modified push-up. Now for those of you that are stronger, you're gonna stretch your legs out and get into a push-up position and push. And those are how our body can move. Some people are stronger, some people are not as much stronger, where some people can lift their body weight and some people can. Now lastly, my last example for movement concept is going to be relationships to or with objects, meaning who or what the body relates to. So for example, say you're running on a path. You grab an object, anything, it can be anything you want, and put it down in your way. Say you're running, walking on a path. You're just casually strolling down the park, and you see, let's say this is a rock on the floor. Now, how are you going to think? To go around the rock, or you're going to run straight through it, possibly causing an injury? So you're going to walk and then change direction and go around the rock, or run around the rock. And that is my relationship to this object. Next, what we're going to do is you're going to grab a chair. You're going to face it in the direction that you want. So I want to sit in this chair. Now how am I going to move my body to physically sit in this chair in the direction that it's going? safely to where I don't harm myself, but I'm actually sitting in the chair. So I'm gonna move around it and sit down. And that is my relation to this chair. Moving on to fundamental motor skills. There are two types, basic and functional. Fundamental motor skills are integrated into physical and sport education programs which emphasize movement exploration, the development of fair play and safety concepts, and the enjoyment of regular physical activity. Overall, we're going to be using the body, moving the body using locomotor and non-locomotor skills. I'm going to give you first 3 examples of locomotor skills and what they are. The first example is hopping. You're going to propel your body up and down, taking off and landing on the same foot. So what you're going to do is you're going to stand up as tall as I am, stand up. You could use your arms as balance, whether you want to put them out in front of you, above your head. I prefer to keep mine on the side. You're going to reach above to the sky and hop. Notice I had a slight bend in my legs. Let's try it again. Reach for the sky. Don't forget to balance. Bend your legs and hop and propel forward. Our next example is going to be jumping. Jumping is kind of like hopping because you're moving and up and down movement. So what you're going to do is stand straight as tall as you can, and you're going to have a slight bend in your legs, and you're going to jump, 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 jump. Now you can jump on 2 legs, or you can even switch and only do it on 1. Jump, jump, jump. You can even switch back and forth. Our last locomotor skill is going to be skipping. Skipping is a series of steps with an alternate feet. So you're skipping and moving and propelling forward. So what you're going to do is push off and reach, up and over and land lightly. So you're going to push off with one of your legs. You can even skip backwards if you can. It's kind of tricky and it's going to take some practice for some of you, but you're pretty much just switching and gently gliding across the room. Let's try it again. Now let's try backwards. And those are our 3 locomotor skills. Next, we're going to move on to non-locomotor skills. Non-locomotor skills are movements of the body that do not involve moving from one body to another. Non-locomotor movement involves the use of limbs or their entire body and requires stability. The first example we're going to do is bending. Whether that's bending your arms, your legs, or your whole body. But the whole point of bending and non-locomotor skills is keeping your whole body still, but bending your legs or your arms or your body. So for example, I'm bending my arm, and we use non-locomotor skills on a daily basis with anything you can think of. You use non-locomotor skills of bending your arm and brushing your teeth, brushing your hair, taking a bath, sitting down, getting up, and then you try to bend as far as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and bend over. So you're going to face this side of the wall or the room, and you're going to keep your lower half of your body still and bend over. Notice how I'm bending over and all of my lower body is staying still. None of my body is moving. Next, what we're going to do is rocking and swaying. So now you're still moving, but you're standing in place and staying still. Your body's still staying still. Rocking and swaying, the center of gravity is fluidly transferred. So like in the beginning, whenever I transferred my weight from my left leg to my right leg, it's going to be the same thing, except your body's going to stay on the ground. You're going to rock smoothly, as smooth as you can, but you're keeping your whole body still and you're standing. You can even change directions if you want. So I'm going to rock back and forward, from right to left, or even left to right. Doesn't look any different, I'm sure. You can rock slow, or you can rock fast. And that is rocking and swaying. Lastly, for our last non-locomotor skill is turning. Turning is rotating around the long axis of the body. The long axis of the body. You're moving your body as a whole. So I don't know if you ever played Ring Around the Rosie. You're gonna grab hands with somebody and you're gonna turn like non-locomotor skill. This concludes our discussion of movement concepts and themes and locomotor and non-locomotor skills. I hope you guys